finally got two now. Guys, if you can hear me on the audio side, can you just say something on the live chat so I know the audio is working, if you can. Cool. Thank you. So we've got two now. So it's AQK. Who else is there? Was Mustak and Giffy there, but someone obviously dropped out. Okay, those who are online at the moment, if you just put a message in the chat bit so I know who's there and I can just tick it off. Yeah, so far I know Mustak's here, Gif is here, AQK is here, and Imran's here. If anybody else that's here and I haven't mentioned your name, please either put a message in the live chat or at least PM me so I know you are in the YouTube live stream.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
First
First
of
of
all,
all, Jazakumullah khair for logging into the YouTube live stream. And inshallah, our aim is to kind of provide you guys with the important information that you need for 3 cities. So now I do say 1:45 will start, even though we don't have as many numbers that we're hoping to, we'll still start now. And it's not fair for the others who've been here since 7:30. First of all, obviously just want to say that training is pretty much over now. With sound. Okay, we're having issues with the sound at the moment then. One second. Can you let me know if it's any better now, please? Any better? I just say it may not be the best at the moment. Unfortunately, it's the first time we're using this YouTube streaming. So if it's reasonable, let me know. I can continue. If not, I'll try to do something about it. Okay, let me know if you feel better now. Okay guys, I think I'll just continue. Apologize for the sound. I know there's a lot of echoing apparently that's happening, but I'll do my best to keep it short so that you get to go through less pain. Okay, Bismillah. So anyway, I was just saying basically, alhamdulillah, the training, 13 weeks, 12 weeks of training has concluded. We have 1 week of training left. It's pretty much concluded actually, because the last training run won't be anything intense like we had for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Video sound gone. Okay, I'm just gonna continue, guys, because I'm getting a bit different of it. Messages coming in. Some can't see, some can see. I'm assuming everyone can see, or most people can see. So I'll just continue from this. Um, okay, so and the training is done now. So I thought I'm getting different messages about people wanting certain information about the three cities, especially for those who are doing it for the first time as well. The anxiety is kicking in as about 2 weeks left now. So I thought I'll try to ease kind of a lot of tension by just going through some basic stuff regarding three cities. It will help with the preparation. Okay. So to start off with, I'll just start off with the flights first. So we are going to be flying out on the 21st of October, Friday, sorry, Saturday, with Ryanair from Stansted. The information I'm giving now, these basic information, I'll provide it again on a PDF and I'll share with everyone. And in terms of any questions, the reason why I think we want to keep it as a question is, as a live stream, is so that afterwards, if you have any questions, you can straight away put it in the messages and I'll try to answer them, and it'll help others as well get the answer. So we are flying out from Stansted on Saturday afternoon around 3:30, and then we'll be returning back on the 25th of October from Munich via Eurowings, which is another budget airline, coming back to Stansted around 19:30 on Wednesday evening. On that note, I was going to say there are no facilities for us to go there as a group or to return back as a group as well. You need to make your own way to the airport. One suggestion I'll say, because for the both inbound and outbound we're actually going from Stansted, it's probably cheaper as well if anyone wants to take the car, get a group of people to go, and that way share the parking fee. I think it works about £50 for the whole week for the duration of the time that we're going for, and you can split it between the people that you're sharing the car with.
Okay. So this is what advice I can give. Because other than that, if people want to go by train, come back by train, that's something that they can do as well. As you guys know, the flights we're taking for both outbound and inbound, they're both budget flights, so therefore the only piece of luggage you get to take is the one that you take on the plane with you, between 8 to 9 kilogram. There's no extra baggages that we're allowed to take with us. You can obviously leave the main luggage with the van, which I'll come to later on as well. But on the plane itself, you're taking a very simple handpiece that you take on the plane, the usual standard size, basically. Okay, just gonna cover some things. Obviously, the passport, it is the must. So make sure that you've kind of bagged that in first. We mentioned the beginning of 3 City campaign that we started this year regarding European health insurance card, or something of similar nature of an insurance scheme. Please make sure you have that. If not, apply for it now. You have it for 3 Cities. It is really important that you have that, and we probably won't even let you get on without it, because we had an issue last year, and we want to make sure that everyone's covered for yourself, ultimately, and to cover our back as well, to make sure that we are doing some sort of guidance for people. Stuff that you need, basic stuff that I'm going to cover. Obviously, then it's something, it's up to you guys what you take with you. But we will say stuff like, with the credit card, debit card, either one of them, cash, ideally in euros. Even though we're going to be going to Switzerland first, Switzerland does take both Swiss francs and euros, and the value is like for like, so there's no difference in terms of currency. We'll be staying 4 nights. So again, you can use your judgment in terms of how much clothes you need to pack for the 4 nights, and it's just a guys' night out, guys. So it's not it's a lads week, right? So you don't have to really be packing all your suits and best clothing either. In terms of uh, um, those of you who's got obviously on mobile phone, check with the network provider regarding European roaming. It's going to be quite useful, especially when you're on the ride. You need to contact support vehicle or contact other people regarding your roaming facilities. Like for example, I'm with Vodafone, and when I go Europe, I think I pay something like £3 a day while I'm there, and I get to use my usual allowances as though I'm in UK for that duration of the day that I'm there. Um, that's one thing. Psycho related stuff. I'm gonna obviously include these stuff in the in a little itinerary stuff that you're gonna need to cover. But stuff like helmet, glasses, gloves, stuff that you normally would wear on a normal training ride. This is the main guidance I'll give, because you always get this question is, what shall I take with me for 3 cities? And really, if you break it down, it's nothing special really. All you have to think about it is the last few long rides that you've done, pretty much 70+ mile ride. What did you need on those rides? And that should be pretty much your guideline for 3 cities as well, a long ride. So obviously for every ride, you need your helmet, you need your glasses, if you wear gloves, if you wear glasses, all those sort of stuff, you need that for a basic ride. In terms of food wise, what you need, again, it would be very wrong for me to tell you take SIS gels, 2 of them, take one of, it doesn't work. Different people's body works differently. So again, if you've been on training rides, you know how your body works, you know how much food you need and what sort of food you need. Some people prefer SIS, some prefer high five, some prefer gels, some prefer bars. The list goes on. It's pretty much a very tailor-made individual thing. So if you need guidance, we can help you later on, but I don't want to give out any sort of um, definitive numbers, what sort of stuff you should take, because it may not, most likely may not even work for you. So use your training ride as a guide, as an indication to how much sort of food you need on your rides. In terms of inner pumps, sorry, inner tubes and everything, you cannot just necessarily obviously use your training ride, because these are longer rides and for 3 days. So don't just come with one inner tube thinking, well, that's what I normally use for my training ride, because you're there for 3 days as well. My suggestion is between 3 to 5. I would go 5 inner tubes with you, purely because you're away for 3 days, 4 days, and it's very difficult to find bike shops over there as well. And when you do find them for the road bike, we find it quite difficult. So even if you take extra with you, you're better to do that than to rely on other people to give you the inner tubes and then put them in a position where they might get stuck when they need it as well. So better to come over prepared with those sort of stuff than to come under prepared and rely on other people to help you out. Lights are very important, guys. We're definitely going to be riding through night ride, whether it doesn't matter even if you're super elite like look through or not. There's going to be times you're going to be cycling through nighttime, purely because the time is getting darker sooner as well, and that affects it. So not just lights, but really good working lights, rear lights on the front one, because the roads that will be on, they won't have street lights, so you really need a powerful lights to cover it. Definitely suggest a battery pack with it as well, so you can charge them up should you need to do that. And in terms of cycle clothes, again, what you normally would wear for your normal, whatever you feel comfortable, but bear this in mind, it's October now, it's likely to get cold, and you rather go with every preparation, because you're there for 3 days, coming home to pick up something you forgot. So I would also say I take it with you: base layer, a cycle jacket, rain jacket, whatever, shoe cover. Take everything with you. Even though we may forecast before we go that all 3 days going to be um, dry, you just never know. If it does end up raining, take a shoe cover with you, and then in the morning of each ride, you can decide whether you need it or not. Leave it in the van and use it as and when. But in terms of jersey wise, we definitely want everyone to go with their black H&K jersey, and I repeat, black H&K jersey. Everyone from last year definitely has one, and from my thinking, or even the new sign-ups, most of them do have the H&K jersey, the black one. So I know two people doesn't who don't have the H&K jersey, and I will be making some arrangements so that they could borrow maybe somebody else's to take part. And we're hoping that for day 1 and for day 3 we can probably have people wearing the H&K one. It's for Akmal, but he likes it for pictures and videos and everything, so we want to make sure everyone's all uniformed. Akmal, you got to mention now. Everyone's all uniformed and everything, it just looks good. On day 2 you can wear what you like, but obviously still has to be appropriate, guys. Remember, whether we're in UK or in Europe, we still should follow our Islamic principles and guidelines. So please, loose clothing and outer covering attire would be good. Other essential stuff that you need with you is stuff like, again, pump. Don't rely on people, guys. We have that a lot of time. People think it's okay, I'm going to be with so and so, or I'm going to be with someone, and therefore if I have a puncture, they'll help me out. You may not be with anyone. You may end up bringing somebody else who also thought same like you and thought, yeah, somebody else can have a pump. So therefore, and if two of you end up being together, then you're stuck. And if you have to call a support vehicle for a pump, well, that's wasting support vehicle resources, because they could probably be more useful for somebody for injuries or more serious cases. So again, I really don't want to hear someone say they didn't bring essential stuff like inner tubes, pump, water bottles. You definitely need 2 water bottles, and have it somewhere in a case so you can mount the bottles as well. Energy food, again, I mentioned that. Don't anyone laugh, but it's really important that people do take anti-chafing cream like chamois. It is a little bit expensive, but you need it. You want comfort, so therefore make sure you bring some sort of anti-chafing cream to help with that region. I have heard, although I haven't tried it personally, those roller deodorant thing does work similar way, and they're a lot cheaper. You can buy them for £1. The chamois cream can be a bit around £10 as well, £10 plus. So if you want to try the deodorant one, apparently you can even apply it as a preventative measure as well. You can apply it before you start getting any sort of sores and pains around that region. You can do that. You got my bottles. I gave you a bottle, Giffy. 2 water bottle shaving cream. Okay. So this is it's kind of like what I want to go on to more, actually for me personally more important, is this is going to be our 4th year that we're doing 3 cities. Okay. Shah, maybe Rocky, try to put volume up, bro. I'm shouting, I think. I have got a problem with my hearing, by the way, so I can't hear myself that loud, so I thought I was actually already shouting anyway. And hopefully that works. This is now, we are in our 4th year of 3 cities now, and alhamdulillah, every single year we come out really positive, and we get really positive feedback from people. And the fact that same number of people pretty much sign up the following year is a testament that, alhamdulillah, there's khair in what we're doing. But at the same time, we cannot be complacent and assume that every time we're going to come out with the same result. And more importantly, because the positive stuff that comes out from it is purely because of of the riders that take part, and the bond and the brotherhood that we increase while we're there, the laugh, the banters, and the pain and the laugh all mixed together. That's what makes Three Cities this amazing challenge. But as the team gets bigger, the challenge of maintaining this positive feedback in each year, it does increase as well. And therefore, I keep telling you, and I would want to tell you guys this is, do your best, because it's all individual, right? It only takes one or two person to kind of go a bit off the rail and spoil for the rest of the people as well. So I'm going to say to everyone this, keep up the Three City spirit. We're on our fourth year. Alhamdulillah, we're going strength to strength every year, and we want to maintain that. The most important thing for us isn't the ride part, isn't the Euro part, it is that whole Three City spirit. Those who are, if anyone speaks to myself or any of the core members who did the first three cities, this is what we keep banging on about. And I always want to make sure that everybody still experiences that same positive buzz and the spirit that we enjoyed from the very first three cities we started off from. The reason why I mention that is because during these rides we'll be pushed to our limit, not just physically, mentally, psychologically, hunger, all this stuff will be pushing us to the limit. And therefore people may be on their edges. Banters are brilliant. It helps for a lot of people to kind of overcome these hills and the challenges. But for others, they might be at a breaking point, and then you start bantering with them, and end up really tipping them off the edge. That's what I'm saying, is that we need to respect each other in the sense where be careful of people's state they're in, because day one, end of day one, day two, day three, you might end up really upsetting someone, and then it can be really nasty and negative. So I'm just going to say, everyone, we're all adults, and we know most people as well. But once again, just because we know each other from here, don't just think we can go there and just continue the same sort of stuff, because like I said, 3 days back to back of cycling and the challenge that we're facing will put people on the edge. So don't just assume I joke with someone, so it's okay, he can take jokes. Be careful of that. The support vehicle, alhamdulillah, we got this year. H&K is doing this support vehicle with our Three City H&K ex-core member Monwa, who used to be a legend, and he was on a bike. For those who've never seen it, I can testify that. But this year he's not. Monwa will be assisting H&K with. Monwa will be assisting H&K with support vehicle. I say this, I know everyone really enjoyed the support we got from them, from H&K and Dudu, aka Ahmed, last year, and also we had Gary and Omar as well doing the assist on the support. But one thing I just want to say again, just to remind you, even though we're riding 3 days in a row, you have to be careful that with the support team, they also been driving for 500-600 hours, 500-600 miles, and then doing the support, sitting on different places. It can really build up as well. What I don't want people to do is, just because you're riding, don't assume these support vehicles are there to help us, so therefore don't start demanding things, don't start pushing them around, don't start ordering things around. We will be giving them a guidance, we're giving them instruction on what they should be doing. If what I really don't want to see is them getting grief from every single rider saying, no, go and do this, can you stop there, can you go and get this? Don't do that, guys. They are seriously volunteers. They're helping us out. Don't treat them, workers, or the fact that, demanding stuff just because we've been riding and therefore we need to, don't do that. Have respect for them. We should be grateful enough the fact that we got people to do this, and saving the charity money by not having to get someone to cover the whole driving there and everything. So they're volunteering their time and their effort. They will do their best. If you think support vehicles should be doing something differently, speak to myself or speak to other core members about it. whoever's near you, speak to them, and we will deal with it. I don't want 26 people to start having their own suggestions to. You may know these guys, you may know A2K and Monwa. Just because you know them, don't just think you can go up to them and just say, no, what should do. We're giving them some sort of instruction, and we want them to stick to that. If you think they should do differently, speak to myself, speak to Soybai, speak to other core members, and we'll tell you why we're doing what we're doing. And if we think the suggestion is better, we'll change it. But what I just don't want to see is every break point, for example, they're getting hounded about do this, or I want you to get me this, I want you to get, stuff like that. So respect them as well. Shahjan's not here, but alhamdulillah, Shahjan has volunteered to be our medical person. He will be bringing all the first aid kit, everything with him as well. And so he said any sort of medical related drugs, stuff like that. And I know what's going through everyone's mind right now, right? He will be providing that for us. He volunteered to do that. But guys, do not go up to Shahjan and ask for some injection, right? EPOs or something to help with the riding. He's very limited to that, and I think he's only using it for himself, and he's not willing to share on that. But in terms of any sort of oil that you need to ease some muscle pain, he'll give you that. But any EPO injections, syringes, he's limited to and keeping it for himself. He's got 3 apparently, and he's using it for all 3 days of cycling. Okay. When we asked you to fill out the form, there's a bit that we obviously ask about. Oh yes, and of course, Diffie. Those of you who have seen our videos on YouTube, he is our club physio. If you see it, you know why, and we can always help you out with that as well. We asked for next of kin information. I ask you, a lot of people may just give some dodgy numbers or dodgy details. It is important, especially for 3 cities. So can I ask you if you have given some random numbers just to skip that stage of the form, please provide the information because it is important. Last year, it showed how important it is. When Sadbai had the incident, I was able to straight away contact his wife, let her know, inform what's going on, and keep her informed duration of the time until she managed to get contact with him. So it's important that you give something down. If you don't have to always give your wife's numbers, you can give your brother's numbers, you can give your anybody else that we can speak to, and we can inform them of anything happening, God forbid. So that I've made a reminder about the European health insurance card, so I won't go back to that again. Radios is, again, I'll talk about radios because it makes me upset. We will try to give radios to every single people. Every year it's increasing with numbers, and every year we're losing radios as well. So you can understand in net we're actually pretty much going minus quite a lot. We're buying more radios for this trip, and I will have one of the core members who will be in charge of the radios. I think it's going to be Soifa actually. Can you please, I will assign, when the radios are assigned to you, please take responsibility of it. It's an amana, it's a trust. It's not my radio, it's not your radio, it's part of the club radios. And as you guys know, we don't profit from this sort of club, right? This is something we like to use as long as we can, the following year and everything. So please look after the radios, and so I shouldn't be reading the live messages actually, it distracted me. Look after the radios and return them back in the state that they were given to you in the beginning. They are a very useful piece of tool, and we'll have to not having to keep buying each year to replace the ones we were somehow losing or breaking. 1 second. Obviously, alhamdulillah, we're getting really good riders this year. Really impressed with it. Like so, Shaibo has now jumped up in rank. He was pretty much a third-class citizen when it comes to riding before. But alhamdulillah, he's now actually coming quite close to the border of elite now. He's actually knocking on the elite door, I think. So don't quickly see any messages that's coming through. Um, okay, any issues you have, if you have any issues with support riders, if you have any issues with any other 360 participants, again, I just want to quickly mention that please speak to myself or any of the core members first and let us diffuse it. Do not take the matter in hand and try to escalate it. Let us deal with it. Any issues that you have, whether it's about the hotel, about another 360 rider, about support vehicle, anything you have an issue, speak to us first and do not raise it amongst the group, please. Right? One thing I do not like is people bringing any issues in public or in group like that, because it escalates something small to big and it doesn't look very nice. It doesn't look very nice for us, it doesn't look good for you guys as well. So as an organization, we'd like to obviously deal with it and try to settle it before it escalates. Two things I just want to also manage expectation with. You know, each year we always do our best to keep the registration fee to the bare minimum. It has been pretty much similar since for last 4 years now, 3 years that we've been doing it. But it's obviously difficult. But in order to maintain that, Shaibu's not going to like what I'm just saying, but for majority of people, we need to understand that not everybody wants to go on a 5-star and want to pay for a 5-star service. Everybody obviously wants a 5-star service for a lot cheaper, like a 3-star price. But it's not, wherever it's possible, we obviously do that. But in general speaking, we have to try to get a balance of it. So in terms of the hotel, it's going to be really basic, pretty much. So understand that, especially a place like Switzerland and everything, right? We cannot go for mid-grade. So we do our best to get the best hotel we can get for the price. The other thing we have issue also is, as we have like 26 riders, we have 4 support vehicles, support staff. That itself is 30. So we need 15 rooms in one hotel. That itself was another challenge as well, to find a hotel that's going to provide us with 15 rooms. And not obviously the hotels that we're staying, they're not necessarily always in the main town. So again, that's another issue, and the price affects you as well. We are going to be in Switzerland for day 1, Saturday, when we're not riding, when we arrive there, right? We're also going to be there for day 2 when we finish off. We're going to stop over at Zurich as per our ride, and then finish off in a place called Frenfield. Again, that's still in Zurich, which is going to be our day 1, end of day 1, which we'll be staying. As you guys know about Switzerland, and those who were with us last year, it is expensive. It is ridiculously expensive food. So I just want to manage expectations, especially for myself as well. You know, if you want to bring your certain food with you, snacks with you as well, do so. But food is going to be expensive, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about it until end of day 2 when we get to Germany. It'll be a lot better. Okay, so that's what I want you to also manage expectation. We will do our best to find hotel restaurants near to the hotel that we'll be staying, so therefore we'll have breakfast. That takes me to the last more important thing, talking about the routes. The routes, whenever we have breakpoints, the breakpoints are going to be near to a supermarket or a petrol station. We haven't done it so in the past, where we haven't really had a lunch or dinner during the ride. The idea is we have a proper meal at the end of it. Hence, there won't be no restaurant breaks during those rides. It's all about the support vehicle stopping at certain breakpoints. And if you take your food with you in the van, then obviously you have access to that. And ideally, if where I can, the team will be waiting at near to a petrol station or supermarket where you can actually go and buy some food as well. But it will be more like snacks and everything, really. And for every night, we'll locate a couple of restaurants near to the hotel and ideally we'll go everyone together. Everybody come to the hotel, freshen up, have a shower, and we'll go for a meal together as well. We'll have a little chat, and then for every morning ride, we'll start off with a quick briefing before we set off again. Talking about the food, there's one thing I want to mention that happened last year, and I'm not mentioning names because wallahi, I don't even know the names, so it's not like I'm holding any names. But actually provide food, guys, by the way, for the breakpoints. That's in the van. Individual people will take your own food. Like for example, I'll take you what I'll let you know what I will take, and that will help you. Stuff like crisp, chocolate bars, flapjacks, drinks, all that sort of stuff that will give you, replacement of salt, replacement of sugar, gives you slow burning oats, sort of stuff. These stuff a lot of people have been taking with them last year on Food City Van, and what we found, people been telling me is when they're accessing their bags in the van, people have been helping themselves to the crisp and whatnot, chocolate bars. I don't know if they did it, they thinking this is H&K providing the food, so they just went and they just helped themselves. If that's the case, then it's fine, it was an innocent mistake. But I just want to remind everyone, this is not our food. People are bringing their own food, so therefore, if everybody does share. From what my experience has been, everybody's been sharing their food anyway. So if you want to go for it, at least ask them, look, I can see you've got 10 McCoys there. Is it alright if I take one? Instead of just taking it off, because it's not a nice feeling when you go to your bag looking for your last McCoy's salt and vinegar and find that somebody's already access to it before you. Well, to be honest with you, if you want to blame anyone, maybe look at Lutful and whatnot, because they'll be the first one to the support vehicle. So maybe that's one of the few people you want to ask if he does goes missing. Okay, I do want to show you. Okay, I'm going to start taking questions in a minute, but I think I'm pretty much covered. Let me just check something. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one of the route that we're taking, and then if you have any questions, I'll take it afterwards as well. So this is what we have been doing so far, by the way. This is the beginning of 3 cities. We started off from London. As you can see, we've covered all this, and we finished off in Basel. And then this is just to give you insight for day 2 ride. Is going to be this one. And like I said, I hope everyone's been training for it. I have been giving everybody enough sufficient warning for it, but it does look nicer, by the way. You have to at least admit it looks nice on the map. You probably haven't. I'm waiting for it to actually load up. Okay, it's nice. Listen. Exactly, that's the thing. I like that Litonbai. Listen, Litonbai has done least training, and listen to that man. Bring it on. And Lutful OMG. You know what? This is what I'm talking about. True men, that's how they speak. Rocky's message, I like that. We'll do it right, guys. Listen, we'll be fine. I'm with you. Alright? We have support vehicle, right? Plenty of ropes with little knots in between. People can hold it for grip, and off we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop there now. I think I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. If you guys wanna, if you don't swear, please. If you're gonna ask any questions, you've got the live chat there. Don't everybody have to go at the same time, please. Do keep it quiet for now. And then let me change it. Actually, people might get a bit nightmares. Let me put this on. Actually, let me put this on. There's nothing there. Okay, can we get people to if any got any questions? Oh yeah, sorry. One more thing before I let you guys ask any questions is in terms of roommates. I haven't allocated any roommates yet. It's going to be obviously 2 in each room twin beds, I believe. Yes, it is twin bed. Uh, twin, yeah, single beds. So ideally, what I want is, if you, I'm going to be allocating rooms very soon, but if you strongly want to share a room with someone, let me know. Other than that, if you prefer, if you have no preference, this is what I like to hear from most people. Say, look, I have no preference who I share with, and then leave that to me, and I'll allocate you a person to share it with. um, or vice versa. If you really strongly don't want to share with someone specific, then again you can just let me know, and I'll try my best not to allocate you this share the same room with that person. But if you say you want to share a room with someone, and they tell me they want to share with somebody else, then we have a problem, right? So if that's the case, then I'll have a problem. Other than that, again, don't mention it in the live chat or in the group. If you have any preferences who you want to share with, or you have any sort of um, strong opinion about who you don't want to share the room with, private message me before I start setting the rooms out, room allocation out. Other than that, oh yeah, in terms of breakfast wise, also the rooms, we have made sure that day 1, day 2 and day 3 does have breakfast, because we need it for the ride. Unfortunately, day 4 we couldn't find one with the breakfast, but it doesn't matter because we're not riding after day 4. It's pretty much a free day, and again we'll try to arrange something for people to do on the day. Maybe going around Munich, we'll be there, but with more detail I'll provide it on the day when we get to the airport, and when we get to the day 1 Saturday at the hotel. Okay, I'm not going to listen to any messages that's been happening before that, but from now on, from now, any messages, if there's any question, please chuck away. Any cheeky comments, hold back, hold fire. Or if you're not in the, if you can't do live chat, by the way, you can private message me, and I'll take the other questions. If you can't do any private messages, so if you can't do any message on the live chat, PM me and I will answer the question here. Winter pack meaning what? Clothes wise? Yes, I would say take, if you're talking about in terms of clothes wise, then yes, take like I said, base layer, shoe covers, thermal stuff with you, and then we'll oh, for high altitude. I'm thinking of taking my ski stuff and just ski down, looking at that elevation. Anyway, Yusuf, I did say serious questions here. Any cheeky comments, hold fire for now. Would we be able to take bike into rooms? Good question, sir. Okay, I do have the information. On day 1, we can't, for the day 1 hotel, we can take the bikes in our rooms. For day 2, they will be providing us with a room to put our bikes in. Day 3, I have written it somewhere. Day 3, I think they won't let us put it there. They got a room again that they'll leave us as well. So only for day 1 we can take in our room. For the other 2 days they'll provide us with a room to put, lock room to put the bikes in. Okay, Jahir Ahmed, JJ, what's the actual mileage and elevation for each day? So day 1 is going to be around 75 miles with 6,200 feet elevation. Day 2, where's that image, man? I see the image, I get nightmares, man. Day 2, you can see it's 124.5 miles with 12,335 feet elevation. And day 3, it's going to be around 100 miles and around 6,000, 7,000 feet elevation. The day 1 is about 75 miles, 76 miles, with about 6,200 feet elevation. The roofs will be available. The roofs, I'm just finishing off the roofs. The reason I'm not giving it too early is because I don't want to get I know people are going to be cursing me. I'd rather they curse me more, less days. So the earlier I give it, the more days people be cursing me, right? So hence I'm just holding back for people to stop cursing me. And one other reason is also a lot of people going to be over analyzing and questioning me and whatnot. And also more importantly, actually, is because the what's that called? The break points and all that. I need to make more fine adjustment to the break points for those few other days left. So hence, I'd rather just give it at one go. It will be available definitely a few days before we set off, a week before, hopefully before we set off for 3 cities. The other question, actually, I remember now as well. Shannon, day 2 is deadly one. Well, hopefully you're still looking forward to it, Shannon, right? It's okay, guys. The other thing I was going to say was, as you guys obviously, hopefully, appreciated the video that we ended up eventually making for 3 cities for last year. We want to do something better and quicker for this year. Um, so therefore, what I wanted to do was, what we are going to be doing is we're going to try to have certain people that's allocated to do pictures and videos for us. And what happened last year was, we obviously, people just took random pictures, random videos, and when Cherie sat down, and it's almost like hundreds of photos, random, and it was different for him to really make sense of all the stuff, right? So for this year, to help with that, is we have a storybook, so we know what we're looking for beforehand, i.e. interviews, certain clips from the beginning, certain clips at the end, certain clips on the ride, certain clips for when we're at the restaurant, preparation, end of ride, all those sort of stuff. So we're coming with a prepared, like a storybook theme that we want. What I ask you to do is, if people coming up to you and they're asking for interviews or they're taking pictures, please, bear in mind these are going to be coming. I don't mind. You can be funny or try to be funny. In Shaibo's case, on interviews, but bear in mind they are going to be going on to our videos. So give us some quality footages that we can use, and if we can stick to the storyboard, what that means is we'll be able to edit them a lot quicker because we know where things are, what we have in place. Bang, bang, put them on for editing, and then we can release them a lot sooner than what we did for last year's 3 cities. Early start is an option. Early start in terms of ride, I'm assuming. Not really. What we'll do though is, this year is we have the early start as the main start, if you know what that means. So for example, let's just say we will start at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, right? And 8 o'clock being the early start. Everybody will by default will be assumed to start 8 o'clock. Now those who are there at 8 o'clock, then we will do the briefing, and then we set off. If the people are falling behind because they're still having their breakfast and they're still not ready, they will end up being at a later stage. I say this every year, and I'm going to say this for every single event as well, is we can only tell people certain things. For example, meet up after breakfast at the car park for 7:30, briefing 7:45, we leave in at 8 o'clock, example, right? We can't enforce that. At 7:45, it's still, some people are still waking up and they're still in bed or they're having breakfast now. I can't go around doing this. And that actually reminds me, one thing guys, you have to understand is 3 cities, everybody's taking part. Even for us core members, we all kind of are involved with this, and this is pretty much our signature ride. This is what our bread and butter is. So what we want to do is, we want to minimize managing people on that 3 cities, because we ourselves going to have to deal with day 2 hills, whoever put them on there, so therefore what I say is, when we create a group and whenever we set times, please can we start is have this positive attitude about punctuality, and whenever I say certain things at a time, make an effort to be there. If you're not, I'll have to go with majority. Excuse me for Rashai, but he finds an offensive word when I say the word majority. But I will have to go with the majority. Once the majority of people are here, we'll just have to do the briefing and then we set off. People are falling behind, they'll come afterwards. But bear this in mind, if you want to repeat offenders, you're holding back support vehicle as well. And you will end up making a big gap between the other riders who started on time and you started off late. A support vehicle, again, bear in mind, they're helping us out, they're doing us favors. let's not make their life difficult as well. But him, they'll may have to go back and forth between a bigger, wider gap of riders. Will there be bike tools in the van, or should we bring our own? I'll be bringing the bike tools, basic bike tools that we need. If you got any good ones, bring it along. Anything that's small, then we can pack on the side. I'll also bring a couple of wheels as well. If people got wheels, a good, I mean, not everybody needs to bring it, right? I've got one good rear one. If someone's got a front one, we'll keep it there on the side. So if somebody does end up damaging a wheel, we can always. But if we get everybody to bring extra set of wheels and extra set of frames, you can imagine we have very limited space in the van. So for that reason, I would say we just make sure we get few of them in it. We'll be bringing in our few pumps as well, foot pumps, 3 or 4 foot pumps, so everybody people can use it. Again, regarding the loading the van up on Friday, before that, I'll give you more information about it, and I need people to be very strict with the timing on that as well, and I'll talk about it. I won't mention it now because I'll give the message up regarding that loading up the day. Okay, Shark Rocky's got that one. Packing the van, when and where. Okay, since question has come up, I might as well tell you. This year we've decided that we will. We thought LMC may not be the best place to really do it because of the number of people we have, and the bikes and everything is quite congested. So we're thinking of a car park we can do it at, and the best one I come up with is Asda car park, which is the 24 Asda in Isle of Dogs. Those who know it, it's South Keys side of it. I'll give more information out. It will be Friday evening, possibly around 8 o'clock. But the window for putting bikes in and your luggages in is going to be literally 1 to 2 hours, because support vehicle have to actually go and catch a ferry as well on the same night. Also, we have 26 bikes. Aladdin. We have to, I don't know what Aladdin is, but you might have to give me more details about that. In terms of, we have 26 bikes going in, it's going to be very difficult for us to organize. So please, earlier you come, we can work with it, taking the pedals off. We have few other things we need to do to accommodate all the bikes in, i.e. create a makeshift table on top of the bike so we can put that in. Hence, we need people to be on time, if not a little bit earlier, so it gives us more room to play with. It's not just pretty much straightforward putting the bikes in and putting the bag in and walking out. We have to play with space, and we've got 26 bikes. Any more question? For the for loading the van, I haven't given a time yet. It's most likely, well, it's going to be Friday, 20th of Friday, loading the van. That's definite. Time is most likely going to be between 8 and 10. But again, it's pretty much about. I'll give you the confirmation a little bit closer time. Jackets. I like that jacket. Yes, jackets. We should be with us before 3 cities. We haven't arrived yet, but I think we're expecting it probably by end of this week. Once it does arrive with the caps, I will let you guys know, and then most likely for 3 City guys, what I might just do is bring it with me on Friday. Friday on the loading the van, then I can give the jackets to you guys there, because hopefully I should be seeing everyone there anyway, so I'll give it there. I've got our lights, the Malaysian ones. If it's not, if it was just yours, mine, Shive and a few others. So yes, I've got your light. I was supposed to give it to you yesterday actually. I'll bring that at some point. Mystery ride remains a mystery. I will give more information out by tomorrow. But if the thing I'll tell you about the mystery ride is it's not actually it's not going to be intense. Right, let's put it this way, it's not intense rides are all done now. It's going to be pretty short, easy ride, everything. But so I'll see that. Yeah, cycling caps are also going to be arriving. Cumbersome. JJ, you're more than welcome to go and hit Cumbersome, bro. While you're there, you can have fish and chips, large one on me as well. But I'm definitely not doing it. And actually, no, you're not doing it either. Actually, you're coming to that. Is there a weight limit on our luggage we're putting in the van? Yes, Scobs. The weight limit is, um, well, as you can see, some of the elevation that we got, right? So we actually need the van to also go up them hills as well. So, um, no, there is not weight limit, but I'm just using sense, right? I'm not. I don't know. Well, Sadba is not coming with us today, so his gadgets won't be taking the space. So I don't know how much weight he will take on a van, luggage for few clothes and whatnot. No, just the usual. Obviously, ideally keep it something like how should I put it? So like like a sports bag or something like something that we can squeeze in between bikes or something. Ideally, avoid bringing us a hard suitcase, the one people take to Bangladesh with, and don't have to tie a rope around it and whatnot either. But a soft bag will help us to put it um, in between people's bikes and make up space as well. Um, we're definitely going to be we'll be taking the pedals off when you bring the bike to load the van up. So if you can take your own pedals off beforehand, will help. If you don't know how to do it and or you don't have the tool to do it, that's fine. Bring it here and we'll take it off. But again, for things like that, if you bring it in a little bit enough, if I give you a window eight and between 8 and 10 to bring the bike, and if you're someone who haven't taken the pedal off, you don't know how to do it, don't come at 10 o'clock with it then. At least come earlier so we have time to take off the pedals and whatnot to put it in. We'll have bubble wraps to secure your bikes as well. So we'll be wrapping the main components, i.e. the derailleur, so that it's not clashing with the next bike that's going to be wrapping it with. So alhamdulillah, it's worked for the last couple of years that we've used it. We'll be using it again this year because from what I have known, since nobody's told me, I don't know if it's because of AQK's driving, but none of the bikes, alhamdulillah, has been damaged anyway in transit. So we'll continue doing that. We'll put these big bubble wraps in between bikes to secure the sensitive components like the derailleurs and the chain. My pedals have required Alan to will need help this. Yeah, that's fine, Aqua bike. And then I expect you to come at 8 o'clock. Okay, any more questions? Well, I don't know about that. Oh, sorry, mate. I thought that was looks what I was gonna say. Yeah, if bring lube and chain cleaners again, I would say get something like GT85. I'll be bringing anyway. GT85 is actually a lubricant, but it's a very lighter version. So if it was raining, for example, the night before or one of the rides, we can apply the GT85, um, and that will give you a short-term lubricant for the day. Well, opposed to you using a normal thick ones, which lasts you a couple of weeks, the lubricant on your chain. So GT85 will do that trick. I'm not sure if you really need to clean the chain and chain clean all that stuff because it does get a bit messy. I mean, I'm hoping that none of us really care about the state of our chain for those 3 days. Just want to get over it, come home, and then we can deal with our bikes. Advice on riding before specificity: definitely don't ride closer to 360, guys. You need to rest your legs now. You know, it's no point actually because you're not going to gain any advantages by riding any closer time other than making your muscles a little bit more fatigued. Ideally, rest it. Hence why the 360, the training ride coming for the mystery one, isn't going to be all that. So, but I hope to see everybody there to conclude our, you know, a marathon of a training schedule that we have 13 weeks. Alhamdulillah, really grateful. We've actually completed it. You know, in the beginning when you design the whole route and you do the whole planning, you look at 13 weeks and then now come to conclusion of it. It is a feeling of accomplishment from everyone as well. So really grateful of that. piece of advice: if you can fix circular cardboard to your wheels at home and bring them, that will protect your spokes. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, any way you want to protect your bike without taking up space of the van, because we are very, very tight with the space. So like a cardboard um, wheel that you want to cover, that doesn't take space at all. If you do stuff like that, do it at home and keep that all prepared, and don't bring the whole cardboard boxes that to car park and say, guys, can you help me now to secure my bike? Everybody loves their bikes in a different ways. Some love more than the others. So if you really want to, you know, really go over the top and protect it, that's fine. But do it in your own time, so that when you bring it here and taking up less space as well. Can we have a few words, please, around vaping etiquette, particularly in the hotel? As you heard, guys, the wise man of our club haven't spoken, so those individual culprits, I'll be having a word with them in private, AKB, so that they do follow that. I won't have to mention them in the group, but I will speak to them in private. Um, I don't know if you wanted to mention that in the briefing, but Ekmal mentioned something about. Okay, I think it's a public private one. Okay. But in terms of shorts, I don't know if you those who's got the Adidas green shorts, ideally that, but I think most of us got them shorts. That would look quite nice. If you can get them, if you're size small or extra small, they still having them in stock for £20. Um, you can still pick them up, but other than that, really, um, no, there's nothing requirement in regards to the shorts. But like I said before, just make sure you cover your aura and whatnot. You mentioned the flight times on the 21st. Yes, I did. You may not have heard it, but on the 21st, the flight from Stansted is at 13:50 from Stansted. We're arriving at Basel at 16:25, and then flying back from on the 25th, 18:35, arriving at Stansted at 19:30. Um, what I would say to suggest is on the 20th, maybe eat a lot of food at home. Enjoy the cheap food before we get to Basel. We'll probably have to end up fasting. Now we'll be arriving at Basel at 16:25, so it's afternoon. Okay, another 2 more minutes, and then um, yeah. But like I said, I'm not sure if you heard me or not. How much cash we bring ideally, because of the fact that we'll be in Switzerland for a good few days. Day one, especially when we're not riding and we want to be bulking up with a lot of food. Cobs, I would probably say normally I would say about €100 is sufficient, but because we're going to be going, I would say ideally cash wise maybe bring €150 with you to help with that. But like I said, I really hope I made people get prepared for the pricing of food in Switzerland. It is crazy. I still can't get over the fact that a Domino's pizza was going to cost me £60. Just want to tell you guys, when we were cycling into Basel last ride, just coming into the city, and I saw Domino's on the left, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna get to the hotel and order some Domino's pizza. And then when I saw the pricing on the menu, I wasn't hungry anymore. Okay, 1 more minute. Any more questions? Otherwise, we can end it.